So hello, my name is Jeremy. I'm responsible for customer success at Sensolus.
And I am Mirella, and I work also together with Jeremy in the customer success team of Sensolus.
And today we're going to talk about battery autonomy. So when discussing industrial IoT solutions for asset tracking, the battery autonomy is always a very important topic. Yeah? So when I put a tracker on an asset that I want to track, how long is it going to work on batteries without the need to replace these batteries? When discussing asset tracking solutions in industrial IoT, one of the important aspects is the battery autonomy of the tracking devices that we put on the assets to track them. So how long is it going to live without changing the batteries? And people talk about 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of battery autonomy. And Sensolus, with its 1101 tracker, also guarantees a 15-year battery autonomy. But at the same time, we say that it's not really interesting to talk about these numbers without any additional scope. But maybe let me first ask a first question, Mirella. Why is it so important to have a long battery autonomy?
Well, we work a lot with clients that they have non-powered assets and that they move in remote locations. They are not always in the warehouse or in the proximity of the offices of the client. So they need to be able to have a view on where their assets are standing all the time and for a longer period without to worry about changing the batteries. Generally, I believe that it's very important for most of the clients that they don't have, where they have non-powered assets, because also it's very costly to actually have to change the batteries from time to time, and it's also needs manpower and etc.
So it's an important cost when they look at the complete picture from a return on investment perspective. The cost of changing batteries is important.
Yes, it's. I think it's very important, and also that you don't need to consider that every year or every 2 years I will have to change the batteries in all my assets. Because if it's a small client only with 20 assets, maybe it's possible. Mm-hmm. But if we have like huge organizations with 5,000 assets, it's not easy to change the battery and to maintain the trackers with this way.
Okay, because assets are not always also at the same place. They can be everywhere.
Yes, they can be everywhere, exactly. Okay. They can be like in different countries. They can be like in clients of them, or in different partners of all around the world.
And when you talk about the costs of replacing a battery, you're not only talking about the cost of the battery itself, I suppose.
No, not only the cost of the battery itself, but also like that we have to take in consideration that there should be like they need to spend like some time and to have like employees that they are going to work on it for some days, still to wait also for the assets to return at the location that they need to change the batteries. So it's creating a big issue in this case. So a longer battery lifetime is solving this problem, and then they don't have to worry like for 3, 5, 10, 15 years, depending on the use case.
All right. Second question. So we know that the use case is important to understand what the battery autonomy can be. Yeah. So how does Sensolus calculate actually the autonomy that we can expect for a certain use case?
This is actually very important because there are many different use cases, and one use case can have like might need like limited location updates. Okay. So we don't actually have to worry too much about the battery in that case. But other use cases might also connect with external sensors for measuring environmental sensing like temperature, humidity, or field level sensors for tanks or different equipment. And in that case, we have like a very different battery lifetime than in the simple use cases that they only use GPS, for example. We take in consideration all the factors. How often the assets are moving, If they use like one localization technology or more than one, like maybe they use also a geobeacon or a Wi-Fi, so that makes also a difference, and not only GPS. And then we take also in consideration if they use external sensors, how often they need to know on the move that to get a GPS location when they are on the move.
You have a communication network, you have some software in the cloud, so all of these things can fail or can work well together. Sensolus is a company that provides a complete end-to-end solution. How is that important, and maybe specifically for battery autonomy management?
It is very important. Internet of Things is very powerful, but you can make it even more powerful with the right tools, the right platform, the right software, the right hardware. So if you take care of the quality of your product to be the best possible for the hardware, for example, and how it connects with the platform, and how it measures actually the battery lifetime, for example, through the diagnostics of the platform, in order to eliminate issues in the tracker. I think it's making a big difference, and also to have the right people, the right skills, that they can work all together in order to achieve the best results.
So the fact that the tracker and the cloud are made by the same company makes sure that there's no mistakes and that it's tuned to be optimally using
yes,
the
they need to be fine-tuned in order to get the best results out of it. So you can have like the best the right communication with the cloud, with the hardware with the cloud, for example, in order to get the correct data, to collect the correct data in order to visualize them in the software that you use, in the cloud solution.
Okay, makes sense. And I assume also if you use a solution which is provided by different suppliers, you can get into a finger-pointing solution where if anything goes wrong, the different players look at each other for solving the issue. While if you have a one-stop shop solution like Sensolus, and we take full responsibility.
Yes, exactly. And then I think it's also quite important, the one-stop shop solution, because you can, of course, you can collaborate very well with external companies, but if you have like all the solution in-house, then you can have a much better control, and you can also solve issues much faster, improve the solution with a more effective way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the control you mentioned is really important. All right, and maybe to finish, and maybe a stupid question, but you put so much effort. You put so much effort, or Sensolus put so much effort on all these tuning of battery usage and monitoring everything and adapting things when things change in the field. Why don't you just put a solar panel on the tracker where you don't need to worry about batteries because there's sun and it will work forever?
Because we work with a lot of different use cases, and that's not the most effective way to the most effective solution for most of our clients. Also, we have to consider like weather conditions, where is the tracker, which countries is it moving, is it a lot of indoors or a lot outdoors, is it getting dirty because it's in a waste factory, for example, that can get easily dirty and then doesn't we will not give you the same results. So it's a little bit risky.
Is it too fragile maybe also for some of our use cases?
Because we have like a lot of environments that the tracker might get some shocks, which is not really, it will not be an ideal solution to have a solar panel on our trackers in this case. So it's better to have a long battery lifetime with the way that we approach it today at Sensolus than with a solar panel.
And maybe also the cost side of things. We talked about return on investment and making sure that the cost is adapted to the use case. Maybe that's also a reason why solar panels might not be the best choice?
Yes, for sure. because we cannot know 100% sure that we cannot calculate also the battery lifetime with the same way as we do today at Sensolus.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.